I have a question for you. What do a drug kingpin, a January 6th insurrectionist, and a CEO fraudster have in common? President Trump pardoned every single one of them. President Trump has a lot of reasons we can point to that show how corrupt he is, but nothing exemplifies that more than his abuse of the pardon power that is a unique power of the President of the United States. Let's take one of his most recent pardons, for example. When Juan Orlando Hernandez was president of Honduras, he was responsible for a drug trafficking conspiracy that brought more than 500 tons of cocaine into the U.S. over a span of 20 years. He wrote to Trump when he was in prison, calling him, quote, "Your Excellency," and saying he was, quote, targeted by the Biden-Harris administration. Not long after, Trump announced he was pardoning the drug kingpin, claiming it was a Biden setup. Another example. The CEO of Nikola Corporation is a man named Trevor Milton. He was convicted of defrauding investors out of hundreds of millions of dollars. He was sentenced to prison and required to pay $168 million in restitution. A month before the 2024 presidential election, Milton donated more than $1.8 million to the Trump campaign. 3 months later was the payoff. President Trump pardoned him. Not only does he avoid jail, he no longer has to make restitution to the investors that he defrauded. And how about the almost 1,600 January 6th insurrectionists that President Trump blanket pardoned? They not only stormed the Capitol and tried to overturn the results of a free and fair election. The first time in our history violence was used for that purpose. But do you think that for a second, if those people who stormed the Capitol were trying to overturn the Trump wins in 2016 or 2024, he would have pardoned them? The Trump administration is breaking the law, shattering norms, tolerating corruption, instigating corruption. It's so often that it can be easy for us to just throw up our arms and say that's the new normal. We can't accept that, and I don't. I refuse to treat this like it's normal. It's wrong, and it has no place in our country.